we'll get you guys on, I promise. But anyways, starting with the Cotton Bowl, Alabama 27, Cincinnati 6. A little surprising in a way. I mean, Cincinnati's defense really came prepared. Now, I knew that this was going to happen. I mean, I don't think people expected a blowout like a 50-0 type of thing. But did anyone expect Alabama to be under 27 or really under 30 points? They scored 27. It was 7-3 at the end of one. They outscored Cincinnati 10-0 in the second. They go up at halftime 17-3. The Tide rolled. But I'll tell you what, Ja'Cory Brooks had a heck of a game. If you don't remember him from the Iron Bowl, he didn't get the game-winning overtime catch, but he had a heck of a game. I think he actually got the game-tying catch in the corner of the end zone if you go back and look at it. But overall, when I look at this game in the Cotton Bowl, and again, I went back and I saw highlights of it, and what I did see, because again, I was at work, but what I did see, for the most part, Cincinnati was, playing like a playoff team. This was a 21-point game. Now, I don't know at what point, and I know I've talked about it before, and I'll hear from you guys. I mean, tell me, what margin, what deficit, what margin of victory is the blowout limit? Is 21 points a blowout? Because, I mean, when I look at this, 27-6, right? 27-6. On paper, when I see a score like that, I say, okay, yeah. It's a margin. If it's like a 55-6, 27-6, I say, well, Bama struggled a bit. Cincinnati, hung in there. Truly. It was crazy. A group of 5 team got in, and quite honestly, Cincinnati looked very competitive. Desmond Ridder, 17 of 32, no touchdowns, but 144 yards passing. That's great. Bryce Young looked phenomenal, Mr. Heisman, but he didn't really have his best game. But 17 of 28, 181 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. It's not too bad, honestly. Overall, I give credit to Cincinnati and their defense. I see in there, Nate, what's going on? Ja'Cory Brooks, though, highlight of the game. 4 receptions, 66 yards, and a touchdown. Receiving for Cincinnati, 4 receptions for 55 yards. Jerome Ford, a key back. He got 15 carries for 77 yards. It looked great overall. You look at the team stats, though, how Alabama won this game, and forget the whole, well, they're Alabama. Of course they won this game. They had 482 yards. Overall, outside of the scoreboard, Cincinnati still looked pretty good. They had 13 first downs. They were able to control some good time of possession. It wasn't too much for Alabama. They were just over half of the game at 33 minutes of game time to Cincinnati having 26 minutes. They had over 200 yards in total of offense. That's still pretty good, honestly. And, it was incredible. I see you back there, Ugly Boy. I'll get you in a second, buddy. Overall, Cincinnati gave Bama a game, and it was one of those where Alabama, they made big plays. They still had to punt a couple times. James Burnett, the Australian punter, going out there a couple times this afternoon, but no big deal. Shake it off. They're Alabama. They found a way to get it done. Cincinnati, I would say, showed that they can compete. They had some key players in this game like Myjah Sanders or, Ahmed Gardner, the corner. That was a key matchup I wanted to see, was him on a guy like Ja'Cory Brooks, who led this game in receiving, or whether it be like Jameson Williams or whoever it would be. It was incredible. And Robinson, talk about Bama being able to run the ball. Brian Robinson out there, he comes off injury, comes in this game, and he looks amazing. 26 carries, 204 yards. See here, he had a stiff arm. Again, I'll have to go back and watch some more highlights of this game just to overall see it, but I did get to see highlights once I got home from work, and it looked like they did incredible. Again, I'll be honest, I did have to work. Everyone in the store was just like going nuts, like, oh, we got this. But overall, when I look at this game, I sit there and I say, congrats to Cincinnati. Don't hang your heads. You held the Heisman winner under 40 points, let alone under 30 points. If you're Cincinnati, hats off to you. This was incredible. I told y'all, these were going to be, it doesn't have to be a one possession game to make it a good game. This was 2 possession, 3 possession, 21 points. Okay, 3 touchdowns. But still, like under 30 points, Bama. How many teams can say that they held a Heisman winning quarterback in a great offense under 30 points? How many can say that? Not a lot, truly. So if you're Cincinnati and you're Luke Fickell's amazing, by the way. And I don't think this is a one-time thing. Not that Cincinnati's going to up and rise and make the semifinal every year or do this or that, but I really do like Luke Fickell. Now, I think he could get something going at Cincinnati, but I'll hold my breath. But 27-6, Alabama over the Bearcats. If you're Cincinnati, you held them under 30 points, let alone 40, whatever. You played a great defensive game. The problem was not the defense of Cincinnati, but they couldn't put drives away, and Will Anderson and company were just out there left and right for Alabama. They looked incredible. Overall, I mean, Alabama just had a great defensive game. They played one of their better games, of the year. I mean, Alabama did throw a pick. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was a pick 6. If memory serves right. But when you look at it too, let me actually share the team stats real quick. And let's look at this. So first downs, 27 for Alabama, 13 for Cincinnati. Cincinnati had 3 chances on 4th down to convert. They were 0 for 3. Bama was 1 of 1. Cincinnati 2 of 12 on 3rd down. Alabama 5 of 13. Total yards, this is where Alabama won the game. More passing yards, but it was actually pretty close. Cincinnati was able to move the ball pretty effectively, expose the secondary of guys like Jordan Battle and company for the Tide. Bryce Young again threw a pick. No picks for Desmond Ridder. But ultimately, I mean, that wasn't really much of a game-changing factor or anything. Alabama was able to run the ball. That's where Cincinnati messed up, folks. They only had 74 yards rushing. You have to hit at least 100, if not 150 yards rushing in a game if you want to keep up with Alabama. Cincinnati could not run the ball. They could not. Both teams had 6 penalties, by the way. Alabama had an interception thrown, had a turnover, obviously, and they had more time of possession. Cincinnati could not get off the field on 3rd down at times a little bit, and Alabama was able to hold on to the offense, hold on to the ball, and whenever they were up, they just kept eating up game clock, getting closer and closer to, just being at the end of this game. And again, they will go to Indianapolis, play at Lucas Oil for the national title game coming up a week from Monday. I believe it'd be a week from this Monday on January 10th. And again, they will play the Georgia Bulldogs. We'll get to that game here in a second. But again, overall, looking at this one, 27-6 Alabama. Happy New Year, Alabama fans. We're going back to the national title. But again, you got to tip your hat to Cincinnati, holding a great, amazing, elite offense and a Heisman-winning quarterback. I mean, under 30 points, that's something special. Overall, when I look at this Cotton Bowl, Bama did some things right defensively, and they did some things right offensively, but it wasn't enough to, make it the blowout or anything I think that some people out there might have expected it to be. But overall, I think it was a great game. And you got to give props to the Tide. From a Bama fan, roll Tide. Got the W. I'm excited.